I did not want to cover this story. In fact, this story has been percolating all weekend that there's rumors that Xbox is going to bring games like Hi-Fi Rush to Nintendo Switch, and that the upcoming developer direct from Xbox is going to do that. So why did I not want to cover this? Because I think there are news stories that most Xbox gamers care about, and I don't think that this is one of them. Now, you might be watching this video right now and say to yourself, well, wait a minute, I'm here watching this. Yes, you are part of the top 1%. I would consider you a hardcore Xbox gamer, myself included as well. And yes, we are concerned on stuff like this. But I think for most gamers, ultimately, this news story doesn't matter. So why am I covering it? Well, as it's picked up steam, as it's picked up more and more smoke, so to speak, it does look like this is a thing that could happen. And so I just want to discuss why. I wrote down some questions here that we could discuss on this. How does this affect Xbox? I saw some very salacious headlines this weekend, some very hyperbolic headlines and takes over on Twitter that Xbox is going third party. No. Xbox is not going third party. That's not a thing. Xbox, with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, as Jez Corden points out here in this article over at WindowsCentral.com. He's one of my favorite authors on all things Xbox. I think he's level-headed. But he points out, with the acquisition of Xbox, or with Activision and Blizzard, they became one of the top third-party studios, Microsoft overall anyways. So it's not like this is new. It's not like this is Halo. I would like to say that. It's not like this is Hellblade even. This isn't a AAA title. This is Hi-Fi Rush. Very good game. Absolutely. So if a game like Hi-Fi Rush goes to a Nintendo Switch, for instance, does it really undermine the Xbox brand? I'm not sure that it does. I do understand that there's an inconsistency here. Jez Corden in this article points out that there's an inconsistency. He understands the frustrations, he says, of hardcore Xbox gamers. But I'm not sure that it muddies the water that much. I mean, it's not, for instance, Halo. It's not Gears. It's not it's not Forza. There's no rumors that Forza's going anywhere or anything like that. And I think that there's these marquee titles, and then I think there's these smaller titles that I think is smart, Microsoft, given their position that they're in, to bring to other platforms to get broader appeal, for instance, the Nintendo Switch. So basically, to catch you guys up, there's a rumor here that the Nintendo Switch will be receiving Hi-Fi Rush. That's rumor. It looks like it's picking up steam. Jez Corden here in this article says he's heard talks of it as well. He does say take all these things with a grain of salt, though. It is just rumor until it actually happens. Absolutely, 100%. And then he says, this article goes through and talks about some of the hot takes, some of the complaints by Xbox gamers that there's a little bit of brand confusion here. Why doesn't Xbox say why? And I do think, say why. I do agree with that. There needs to be transparency. If Xbox does indeed do this, why Hi-Fi Rush goes, and is there guarantee that other games remain exclusive? I think we can see. And some may argue, well, PlayStation never does this. That's why PlayStation dominates. Well, PlayStation doesn't have to do this because they are winning. I mean, that's just the reality. They're crushing Xbox in the console sales space. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Xbox is not as concerned with console sales space, but they are concerned with eyeballs. And if exposing a game like Hi-Fi Rush, particularly if there's a Hi-Fi Rush 2 coming out, so let's pretend that there's a second Hi-Fi Rush coming out. Why not release the first one everywhere and then say, if you want to play the second one, this is a fantastic game. I mean, it's a 9 out of 9, 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 type of game that's out there. Hey, number 2 is on Game Pass. Come check it out on Game Pass. I mean, that could be a very good marketing ploy. I just don't think that there's reason for concern here. I really don't. I think there would be concern if, for instance, Halo was that's what they were doing with Halo. Then I would be like, whoa, wait a minute, what's happening here? But it's Hi-Fi Rush. It's not their marquee title. How many people out there even know that Hi-Fi Rush is tied to Xbox? This could be a way of getting the general public to know that, hey, Hi-Fi Rush is exclusive to Game Pass. I mean, it's a Game Pass game. It comes from Tango Gameworks. It's over on Game Pass. Go check it out. So it could be a marketing ploy. It is a marketing ploy, I think, in my mind. Here's the thing. Here's a quote from Phil Spencer that Clobril shared over on, and it is included in that Windows Central article as well. Again, go check out Windows Central article. It has a great breakdown of everything that's going on. Clobril says, Phil Spencer 2020. I don't really love this idea. This is when Ori and the Blind Forest was coming out everywhere. Remember, Ori and the Blind Forest was exclusive to Xbox. He says, I don't really love this idea that for every one of our games, there becomes this little rumor on, quote, is it going to end up on Switch or not? I feel we should set better expectations with our fans than that. And now Hi-Fi Rush is there. And to Jez Corden's point here, let's go to the end, his conclusion here, which I think is really good. He states it very well. 1 second here. He says right here, I think Microsoft could solve some of the backlash with transparency for why certain games get ported but others won't, and then stick to it. Perhaps even with some form of branding like, quote, Xbox Original for tentpole iconic permanent exclusives like Halo, Gears, or Forza. Although that probably comes with some of its own problems. Exactly. I mean, if there's, for instance, if you have a new IP that's not a tentpole game and it comes out and you don't say it's an Xbox Original, then why come to Xbox if it's going to be on PlayStation, Nintendo, Switch, right? You don't see Amazon's The Boys moving over to Netflix any more than you'd see Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom on PlayStation 5. Xbox fans deserve the same consistency. I don't disagree with that at all. And I suspect most would be on board with the idea of Hi-Fi Rush or potentially other smaller titles like Grounded or Pentiment going to other platforms if Microsoft laid out a roadmap up front for what games will and won't be exclusive and offer the exact reason why. So I don't know that they can lay it up front for the reason I just talked about. I don't think you want people knowing up front. Like, it kind of undervalues the point, right? Like, even these smaller games, Grounded is exclusively on Xbox. Well, then why come? If it's not going to be exclusive long term, why come? You could say, like, this will be exclusive for a year. And even that, I think, undermines your point. I just think when a game does go third party, I agree with Jez Corden here, offer the exact reasons why. Like, say, we want to get more eyeballs on Hi-Fi Rush, which will bring more people into Game Pass. If that's your strategy, I think that you should say that. And maybe they will. Maybe we will get that at maybe we'll get that at this developer direct. Maybe none of these rumors are true. Maybe it's not true at all. I don't know. I wrote down some questions here. Let's go through these. So, how would Xbox's strategy of releasing exclusive titles on rival platforms reshape the future of console gaming? I think it breaks console gaming. I don't know. I think it breaks Xbox. I just don't think that you can do it. I think you then do become a third-party player instead of what you're trying to be, and that is a subscription-based service. Well, I guess what really bothered me about this article over the weekend is all of a sudden it became, woe is Xbox. It became very hyperbolic, as if this was the end of the world, and I don't even think this is close to being the end of the world. That's why I like this article over at Windows Central. They really did a good job of putting things in perspective and not just parroting some of that hyperbole that we see on Twitter, which, I mean, to be fair, that's all the internet is hyperbole. So I get it, but it's what turned me off of this news story and these rumors in the first place. Like, no, Xbox is not going third party. They wouldn't have spent billions of dollars just to do that. That doesn't make any sense. That, this is part of a bigger plan. But to Jez Corden, that's why I think he makes the best point here. Just tell us why. If this happens, tell us why. I think that would go a long way in helping us understand the reasoning and really clamp down on some of these terrible hot takes that are out there. What are the potential risks and rewards for Microsoft in diluting their platform exclusivity? So obviously you get, on a game like Hi-Fi Rush, you get more eyeballs on the game. I think some of the reward could be, like I said, if a second Hi-Fi Rush is on the table and is going to be dropped here or is even shadow dropped here, then it's just a way to introduce people to that and say, come. It's a marketing ploy. And ploy is maybe too negative a connotation. I don't mean it negatively at all. A marketing strategy to introduce players to a very good game, a fantastic game, and then say, hey, number 2 is on its way, or hey, come check it out. Come check out the rest of it. The sequel here on Game Pass. I think that's the reward. The risk is exactly that. You're diluting the Xbox brand. you're diluting the value there. You're removing value there, and you got to be very careful at doing that. You do it too much, and it's like, well, why should I even be on Xbox? That's the risk right there. Last question. How might gamers' brand loyalty be impacted if Xbox games become widely available on other consoles? The brand ceases to exist. I mean, that's just it. If Xbox decides to go third party, again, that's not going to happen, and that's not happening, but it does cease to exist. I think that's why this did get so much outrage, or not outrage, but did kick up so much dust and fire this weekend. Because it is like, guys, we want more exclusives, not less exclusives, So, but again, I think it's probably part of a larger marketing strategy, and I would be interested to see how this plays out and what it's about. I don't think it's as big of a deal as is being made, but I do understand people's concerns and inconsistency there. So that's my take on it. For better or worse, I'm not an insider. I'm not a Jez Corden. I'm not an articulate guy, an articulate writer. I'm just a gamer. I'm just a guy that plays Xbox, and that's my take on this. I think for most Xbox gamers, they don't even know about this story. I don't think it matters to them, but I do think for those of us who are in the weeds and are paying attention, this popped on our radar this weekend for sure. So I would love to know what you guys think. Am I not giving this enough credence? Am I poo-pooing it too much? And or do you agree with me? Is this right? Is this not that big of a deal? Do you agree with Jez Corden here? I do. I think he's correct. I think just having a little bit of transparency, figuring out how to be transparent about it without giving it all away and further diluting or creating more problems for yourself is the correct solution here, in my opinion. I think he's correct there. Let me know in the comments below. My name is X1 the Gamer, guys. We hang out, we talk video games, we talk Xbox. I'm just a normal gamer. I like playing video games. This weekend I was working on my Starfield Outposts. Can you believe it's the first time I've dove into Outposts here? And let me tell you, it's intense. It's intense. And let me tell you how frustrating it is, by the way, when you travel and I'm searching for the perfect planet that has all the resources I need for my outpost. But it was a lot of fun. So the other game I downloaded, Hell Let Loose, and I'm not yet jumped in. I'm looking forward to jump in. That just dropped on Game Pass. I'm looking forward to jump into that this week. I did watch some gameplay of it. I watched my brother play it. He downloaded it. Whew. Game looks intense, man. I'm excited to jump in and play that. But anyways, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.